A group of men fired their guns into the sky. The bullets were far too powerful. They soon pierced through clouds thousands of meters high. They accidentally hit a fighter jet. The jet shook violently, then it lost control right away. At this life-or-death moment, the pilot ejected and escaped decisively. On the other side, a group of unaware prisoners tried to break out of jail. They kept running forward, ramming into the walls inside the prison, trying to destroy them with brute force. The guards couldn't help but laugh at them. The walls were dozens of meters thick and impossible to break. As they kept hitting the wall, a loud crash came from above the prison. A crashing fighter jet was heading straight for them. Luckily, the jet did not hit anyone. It crashed into the outer prison wall. Then a huge explosion erupted. Unexpectedly, the wall near the blast was destroyed by the shockwave. The prisoners were overjoyed instantly. They ran out through the crack in the wall while the guards were distracted. More than 200 prisoners had escaped the prison. When other prisoners inside found out, they began to rise up one after another. The incident soon shocked the whole country. The government sent large numbers of police to recapture most of them, but a small group of 5 led by Martin broke through the encirclement. To avoid being caught, they broke into a photo studio and kidnapped the female owner. Suddenly, one prisoner said they looked too noticeable. They should change clothes to keep a low profile, so they put on women's clothing. This made the kidnapped owner laugh. The next day, when everyone was about to go their separate ways, the oldest prisoner made a very special request. He wanted to find a way into another prison. This made the others think the old man had lost his mind. Even though they worried they might be implicated, they still agreed to the old man's idea. It turned out the old man wanted to visit his wife in the women's prison. Because it was his wife's birthday, he had prepared a romantic birthday gift for her in advance, a cool tattoo drawn with a pen. His wife was amused by him. On the other side, Martin explained why he was so determined to escape. It was to take revenge on his friend Hugo. Martin had never committed any crime. He took the blame for Hugo and was sentenced to 7 years. But Hugo actually cooperated with Martin's enemies for profit. He not only had Martin's parents beaten and sent to the hospital, he even arranged for people to attack Martin in prison. Luckily, the rescue was timely. Martin barely survived. Then he took several fellow prisoners and smashed Hugo's drug factory. After that, to not get others into trouble, he decided to go after Hugo alone. But Hugo was already prepared. He had a group of helpers waiting in ambush in the parking lot. The leader was actually Nicola, his good brother from the prison break, while Martin was held back by the others. Hugo quickly got into a car and left. Martin finished off all the men and prepared to drive after Hugo, but Nicola stood in his way again. Nicola knew Martin had suffered all these years. Although he had to stop Martin for loyalty, he valued his friendship with Martin in prison even more, so he refused to pull the trigger of his gun. Then he was hit by Martin's car. Luckily, Nicola was not seriously injured. Martin put Nicola in the car and continued chasing Hugo. The police finally arrived at this moment. Both cars were stopped at the same time. Martin had only one thought at this point: to die together with Hugo. Then a gunshot rang out. It was Hugo who fell down. It turned out Nicola had fired the shot. He finally sacrificed himself to prove his brotherhood with Martin.